After his lame attempts to answer his critics, Joe Biden spent the rest of the time on The View discussing what was really the focal point of his campaign launch video, the Charlottesville events in August of 2017.
I wrote an article at the time in the Atlantic magazine back when Charlottesville happened, and saying that, this is not who we are. There's an American creed. It's about decency, honor, including everyone, leaving no one behind. It was like, I don't remember that ever happening in an administration before in well over 100 years.
Now, the press is looking to relitigate all of this, what they see as a troubling moment for President Trump. Today, they pressed him on his way to the NRA convention. Watch.
If you look at what I said, you will see that that question was answered perfectly. And I was talking about people that went because they felt very strongly about the monument to Robert E. Lee, a great general, whether you like it or not.
Here to react is Candace Owens, Communications Director for Turning Point USA, and Shavar, Jeffries, President of Democrats for Education Reform. Ladies, gentlemen, is this a legitimate campaign opener for Biden? And your reaction to the president's comments there? I'll start with you, Shavar.
Well, it's absolutely a legitimate issue. The Charlottesville incident really spoke to the character of President Trump. He said that there was blame to go along on both sides, when clearly we had white nationalists, white supremacists, who caused the death of a person connected to that incident. So it's absolutely a legitimate issue. Race, unfortunately, has been a major fault line in our country, and we need a president that will bring this country together, not tear it apart.
Candace, your take on that. Shavar just reiterated what Biden said, that the president called white supremacists fine people. Is that what really happened?
That's exactly not what happened. And you can go and you can look up the full speech of what Trump said. He specifically said, I am not speaking about white supremacists or Nazis. So this is not a legitimate issue at all. And what's really bizarre is that Joe Biden, of all people, would use this as a way to launch his campaign. This is a man who was mentored by Robert Byrd, a literal KKK member. This is a man that said that black people should remain segregated in 1972 because it's what we wanted. He has issues with black America, and I'm really happy to see that people on both sides in the political aisle, black Americans that are Democrat and Republican, have spoken up and pointed out his hypocrisies.
I want to get your thoughts on this. CNN's Van Jones thinks that Biden planted a perfectly laid trap for the president. Watch.
He's got him right where he wants him already. But it's really, it's so painful to hear the commander-in-chief, the president of the United States, sit up here and brag on a traitor, brag on someone who's committing an act of treason to defend one of the most abominable institutions in the history of the world. It's painful, it's wrong, it's wrong-headed, it's beneath him, it's beneath the office of the president, but from a political point of view, Joe Biden just showed the world. He knows how to put a banana peel in front of Donald Trump and watch him fall.
Candace, has Biden really laid a banana peel for the president to fall upon?
No, I think this is just more leftist delusion, if I'm being honest. Like, there is not a single candidate that is going to beat President Donald Trump, and that is just the truth. They have nothing that's new. To me, Joe Biden is the new Hillary Clinton. They're all going to celebrate him. They're going to claim the polls say that he's highly favored, when in fact he is not. He's not at all. And people understand that he does not have any policies. He's just doing more fear-mongering, and he's being hypocritical, and America's not going to fall for it because we are all doing much better under this president than we were doing under Obama.
Shavar, is this really what the African-American community is looking for in a candidate? Sort of identity politics and, there's a racist there, this guy's a racist and I'm not. Is that enough, given that you have historically low poverty rates among African-Americans, criminal justice reform from Trump? What are African-Americans really looking for, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, the unemployment trends we see today started when President Obama. In the aftermath of the Bush recession, the African-American unemployment rate was 17%. When President Obama left office, 8.5%. Under the Bush recession, the Latino unemployment rate reached 13%. It was less than 6% under President Obama. So, yes, we've seen some incremental improvements in the last couple years under Trump, but most of those trends started under President Obama. President Trump has dismantled the Affordable Care Act, which affects working families across this country, disproportionately people of color. He made very clear when he came down that escalator, he called brown people, Mexicans, rapists, criminals. He said some of them might be nice people. And that sort of character, that sort of racialized character is what we've seen from this president for a long period of time.
What about criminal justice reform? And I want both of you to react to this.
Sure.
Democrats and the President Obama talked about this. We heard about it talked about throughout his administration. It was never enacted. Nothing was done. Candace.
Okay.
Look, I would say this. Black Americans are tired of being undermined. That's best evidenced by the fact that despite all of the rhetoric, despite the media trying to label Trump as a white supremacist, black support for Donald Trump has doubled since he stepped into office. Black Americans are waking up. We are tired of people issuing an emotional response to Donald Trump. We want people to offer policies that are going to fix our community. Unfortunately, it's only Trump that is offering policies. None of the candidates on the left are offering any new policies, and you're going to see that in 2020. I've predicted over and over again that President Donald J. Trump is going to be the person that cracks the black vote because we are tired, we are fatigued with the racial argument.
Shavar, you do see numbers in support from African Americans rising for Trump. To what do you attribute that?
First of all, I'm not offering emotion, I'm offering facts. President Trump just this year sought to cut over $200 billion from the student loan program, over $200 billion, excuse me.
Student loans affect everybody, Hispanics, whites, Chinese Americans.
They disproportionately affect working poor people, and that's disproportionately people of color. President Trump will not win the African American vote.
Majority of blacks don't make it to college, so that's dishonest. The majority of blacks don't make it to college,
I got 10
so it actually
seconds
will
left.
majority affect white people.
I mean, I'd like to finish. Under President Obama,
Just
we saw
correcting
record.
you, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to correct you now. Under President Obama, we saw record numbers of black people attend and graduate from college. Completion rates went up.
Record does not mean the majority. The majority of people that attend college are white.
I just
want to correct the record.
Of course that's true. That's of course true because there's dramatically more white people in this country. But the rates of black people graduating have gone up. The high school graduation rates went up.
The question was about student loans and who that would impact. That would impact white Americans the most. So I just wanted to correct the record.
I'd love to be able to finish. Wealth for black folks went up. Again, when President Obama was elected, we're in the aftermath of the worst recession since the Great Depression, triggered by the economic policies of Republican President Bush. African American unemployment rates went down by 50% under President Obama. Latino unemployment rates went down by 50% under President Obama because of
I know,
the
but it's at historic lows now, and you didn't. Shavar, you're not. I gave you plenty of time.
You're not
answering my question. Why are black Americans now rising in their support of Donald Trump? You got 5 seconds.
Well, they could go nowhere but up. I mean, he was close to zero in 2016, so they may go up incrementally, but he's going to lose the African American and the Latino vote. There's no question about that.
No, he's not. I'll answer it in 5 seconds because black people aren't stupid, and we're getting tired of the race mongering. We're doing well under this president, and we are going to vote for him.
Candace, Shavar,
they're going to reject
hope that answers your question.
Guys, I wish I had another half hour with just the two of you. Thank you so much for being here and for your perspective.